Oh, hi. Hi, hello, welcome back to whatever this is. Today, we're gonna do a very long-awaited video that I have been putting off for a long time, but have been very excited to do, which is my kitchen tour. So I'm gonna be taking you through all of my drawers, all the weird crap that I collect, the weird food that I eat. It's gonna be a party. I don't know why, but I find these like so satisfying. I'm just nosy. Not about everything. Like, I honestly don't care about your relationship, but what's in those kitchen cupboards, do tell. So, starting with the bar area. Most specifically, my new fridge from New Air. Yeah, I recently got this fridge, which I am too tall to have in the same shot as me. So this is the New Air freestanding wine fridge in stainless steel, which can hold up to 50 bottles, even though I only have like 3. 50 bottles this holds! This is begging for a party. Speaking of which, look at my lights! And New Air does have much smaller fridges if you're looking for something a little bit more manageable if you live in like a studio or a smaller place. And these you can find online via my convenient link down below, or I mean they also like, I've seen these a lot at Target if you're looking for that instant gratification. But anyway, I really like having this all kind of separate from my kitchen because when people come over, it's very easy to instruct them like, oh, just put it on top of the fridge or put it in the fridge or like put it in this area, and they're not like up in my business while I'm trying to cook. The fact that this can go anywhere is really nice. You can put this outside, I'm just saying. Those of you in California where it's warm all the time, it doesn't rain 24/7 like today. But yeah, no, I think this thing is great. I, again, feel much fancier beyond my means. Like when we can have people over again, just being like, oh, just get it out of the fridge. Just go grab one. But yeah, along with my amazing little mini fridge, I do have this bar cart. This is from overstock.com, baby. And has some Valentine's Day cards that probably can go because it's June. Coming down further. So down here we have all of our alcohols, and I like this one specifically because it does have an area for all of my glasses, which is really nice because then it's not taking up space in my actual like kitchen drawers. And also like these are cute glasses. I'm gonna display these. Down here we do have a couple of bottles of like champagne. We have the Kirkland brand Prosecco, and this really fancy champagne that someone gave me and has like a sleeve that I'll never use because it's out of my budget. And then finally on this lower shelf, I put this little white like fur rug from Target, which I really like. I have a little ice bucket here again for when people come over, and then a bunch of, again, expensive bottles that we're never gonna open. Like they're specifically on this bottom shelf because I'm like, y'all, you're over here and you're drunk, you're not allowed that, okay? But yeah, so coming into the walls that is my kitchen. Even though this is not like, oh yeah, if I were to like come up with my own kitchen, would this be it? No. This is very 90s. But my last kitchen was super small. My fridge was probably the size of like the freezer in total, like both fridge and freezer. It was so tiny. It was very limited storage. So basically, I appreciate my kitchen and try to do nice things to it. I did replace all of the knobs, and you'll actually see there's like one back there that we're kind of missing one, which I tried to fix before this video, but turns out I need a wrench for it, and it was just a whole thing, and I was like, I'm just gonna tell you, this is my life. But starting with this half, in here I have most of my baking products and like grains and things. Standard, you know, like sodas, powders, cornstarch, 300 different kinds of sweetened condensed milk just in case. These, ooh, these are delicious, I gotta tell you. This video is gonna be 100 years long. Yeah, there's also an absurd amount of vanilla puddings in here because I put these in banana bread, and I like to be stocked up because you never know when those bananas are gonna brown. Up here on the second shelf are more of these grains. I have tried, as you can see, to get everything into these containers, but my label maker ran out of tape and I haven't replaced it yet. But I just have things like, here's some brown rice, lentils. We eat a lot of lentils and brown rice in this house, as you can see by this diminishing jar. If you are trying to do something like this, a good place to start, I know it's not aesthetically as pleasing, but if you are trying to take things out of packages, like if you also are buying things in bulk and you kind of want to make them a little bit more manageable and able to put in drawers, these up here are just like Tupperwares. So whenever you buy Tupperwares in a pack, like there's always just some that you're like, I don't need this size. Why are there so many of this size? And this is that size for me apparently. So instead of again spending more money on all of these, which eventually the psychopath in me would like to make them all the same, but for the time being, instead, if you are just trying to like make do with what you have, I would just go through Tupperwares. Underneath here, I have this marble paper towel holder that I just got from Target. This, oh, I love this. So this is my limited edition to match my kitchen black Soma water filter. The water in Portland actually you can drink, but we just double filter it anyway, I guess. Over here, finally, I just have all of my dish soap, hand soap, and like counter cleaner all on this little tray here, which I don't know, I really like using trays and baskets and things all amongst my house because it just keeps everything more organized and it like really has a spot, versus otherwise like if there isn't a tray it can just like, I don't know, have you ever lived with a man? It just ends up going everywhere. But finally coming over to this shelf are most of my flours and like again just baking stuff. So I have brown sugar, again this is where the tape died, yeast, powdered sugar, I mean you can read. I also do have this spaghetti and I have lasagna behind here in here because it couldn't fit in that other ones. This okay, before I open this, I'm gonna look like a hoarder, and I swear I just cook pretty much all of our meals and I like to have things readily available. It's gonna look like I keep a lot of stuff, but it's not, okay? Don't you dare judge me, except for do. Okay, so on this bottom shelf, this is strictly spices. And this, like if your spice shelf, if you don't have spices like this, I love you and I still appreciate you, but you're eating raw. I'm just saying, this is how you make things taste good. So I'm not gonna go through each and every one of these because we would be here for the rest of my life. But a couple of my favorites that I reach for all the time, okay. This McKay's chicken seasoning. So if you were not raised in an Adventist hole, you might not know what this is. But this is like a chicken style seasoning, and I swear to you, this is the best one. Probably because there's just like an insane amount of salt in here, honestly. So a lot of the time when things call for like chicken broth, instead of just using vegetable broth, I will just dump some of this in there as well. I also just use this in like, I don't know, just like a lot of stuff for flavoring, like soups. This is really good, pasta, whatever your heart wants. So this is great. I get this in mass amounts. Another weird one that I use a lot of the time is, this is just from Lowry's, okay? This is not even fancy. Like there are better versions of this that you can get from like Mexican grocery stores for sure. But in a pickle, this will do. So this is the pollo asado seasoning that, again, you can get this from just like any like Myers, Kroger's, like whatever is near you. This stuff is so good. A little bit of this goes a long way. This is basically just a combination of salt, garlic, paprika, turmeric, but basically anything, like anytime I make enchiladas, if you're making a burrito, even a little bit of quesadilla, you just sprinkle a little bit of this in there. So yeah, I use this a lot. I had one of my friends, yeah, I gave one of my friends who speaks Spanish a recipe, and she just looked at this and was like, oh, it's chicken seasoning, and then just used chicken seasoning, and I was like, no, this is not the same. These also are amazing. You can get these online. These aren't local to Portland, but these are from Oomph, which is they're just like cooking blends. I put this in rice all the time. These are so good. You can use these obviously in other things, again, like soups are really good, but I get these in a couple different kinds. So this is like their mushroom and garlic and ginger blend, but I also get this like onion, pepper, tomato, like parsley, cilantro, garlic deliciousness, and literally just like sprinkling in like a tablespoon of this into your rice, it just like gives everything a flavor and it's really easy and delicious. But yeah, those are some of the weirder ones. I also just have like obviously some from just like Trader Joe's. There are some very much staples, some more for baking, some more for actual cooking, but these are all things that I use pretty regularly. The only weird one is like this poultry seasoning, which I use at Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving alone. I could go on about this forever. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about, other than these 3 Taco Bell hot sauces, are these Penang curry pastes. I have one in the fridge ready to go. I have another one ready to go, and I have a backup. So this might actually be hoarding, but I probably make Penang curry like once a week. It's so easy to make and so delicious, but I am not intelligent enough to actually make the paste myself, so I just keep jars of this on hand ready to go, which is very similar to these top 2 shelves. So on this shelf, I try to keep most of my broths over here. So I have vegetable broth, vegetable stock, a couple of these. Again, I pretty much cook everything that we eat, and I'm home all the time, even before quarantine. I do have a little bit of cornbread mix from Trader Joe's. This honestly is pretty good. I mean, it's not like real cornbread, but like this is in a pinch, this is delicious. Same thing, I have some roasted red peppers. I try to keep these on hand because I use this in a lot of stuff because they're just delicious. Speaking of, I also try to always have, which I did see was actually really difficult for people to find during the pandemic, so I was like, sorry. I pretty much always have, if it's possible, to have enchilada sauce on hand. I like this one. It's definitely not the greatest, but it's also definitely good. And you can find it at just about any grocery store. So I try to keep those on hand along with stuff like I always have these diced green chilies. Same thing with the diced tomatoes and like serrano peppers or other kind of chilies and stuff back there, because I'm just saying, you don't need a queso dip at the last second. I got you. Finally, over here I have tomatoes. So these are crushed tomatoes and diced tomatoes. I also have some whole tomatoes up there. I make my own spaghetti sauce a lot of the time, so anytime we want like pasta or like just like anything that you would want to put a sauce on, I'm making. So I try to always have some of those. I do really like the San Marzano ones. Those are the ideal ones in my opinion, but they're also very freaking expensive. So sometimes this Kroger brand is the way to go. And then we have just like almond butter that Ira leaves so disgusting. Some peanut butter back there. And then finally on this top shelf, I just have a ton of different kinds of beans that you can see. If you haven't figured out by now, I am a vegetarian, so this is how I stay alive. And finally for this app, for these last two drawers, this is more like medicinal and protein powder and tea junk. So down here I do have my protein powders. So I got this, fun story time, I got this and didn't really realize what it was because I'm an idiot. And then got home and was like, oh, this isn't vegetarian. So I'm not entirely sure what to do with it if someone would like some, but I try to have a protein shake just about every day. And I'm actually running out of this and need more. Have this Super Greens energy blend. I'm also not super attached to this one specifically. This was on sale at Whole Foods the last time I was there, so this is the one that I got. But up here is where all of my teas are. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is my favorite tea. You can again get this at just about any grocery store. Go to the fancier section, like the organics, like the natural section, and you should be able to find it. It's from Peromi, or however that's pronounced, my bad. But this is their Sleep With Me tea, and it's like an apricot tea, I believe. The ingredients are organic honey bush, which I don't even know what that is. Apple, chamomile, lemon, but like it's just delicious. Yeah, it is apricot flavored. This tastes so good, and also like the jars that they come in are beautiful. The satchels themselves are so attractive. I'm gonna touch this and just nasty it up. I'm gonna touch this, I'm gonna do it. Look at how pretty these are. So I'm just saying, you're gonna get this, you're gonna put it in your tea, and you're gonna be like, man, that is pretty. This one actually is also from the same brand that I love. This is their coconut almond, which smells so good. I haven't actually had it yet, but it smells delicious. I think it's gonna be wonderful. I just haven't had this one yet because it is caffeinated, and I am a coffee addict, so one day. So finally up here on the top, this is Ira's protein powder, which he never drinks, so I just stuck it up there. I also have some cough drops because I get these in mass amounts, and my protein shake bottles. Over on this side, again, is just like a bunch of supplements, vitamins, these like little witchy herbs. You can get these at Whole Foods or pretty much any kind of like natural pharmacy. Actually, I think you can also find these a lot of the time at just like regular grocery stores, but I swear by these. I tried to, when I was putting things away in the kitchen, which if you're moving into a place or you're kind of trying to settle in, I have moved stuff around here probably 3 or 4 times before I felt like, okay, I'm really happy with things are. But the way I tried to kind of mentally organize everything was very intentional. So a lot of the time when I am like cooking and I am making stuff, I'm doing it on this countertop, which is why all of my spices are like conveniently located there. The only thing that I feel like is not perfectly placed are these freaking utensils, because I would love to have this and normally do right beside the stove so that when you're cooking you can just grab it and it's just like very convenient, just simplicity. And they were over here, but for Christmas, because Ira does care about me despite me complaining about him on videos a lot, he got me this KitchenAid stand mixer, which he was like, it just feels weird, like, hey, go make me food with this thing. Like, it doesn't feel like a gift. And I was like, no, this is a gift. So I'm just saying, like, I think it's very easy to see on like Instagram or other people's tours and stuff, like especially like YouTubers, is you see like all this nice stuff that they have and you're like, what the, and like it starts making you like feel weird. Just don't, because it's like, first of all, YouTubers are not realistic individuals. Secondly, like I can tell you, I have gotten each of my bigger items very far apart and they have been upgraded over time. And I think that's one of like the greatest things about your kitchen, or really like any element of your house, is that it is a much slower collection of really nice things, and it's like you moving up each time and you feel really good. So I'm just saying, like, not everything needs to be bought at once. So over here I do have this tray with all of my like very commonly used things. So these are all my oils. I have some balsamic, salt, pepper, hot sauce, ketchup, truffle oil, you know, just the usual. And to the right of all of this, I do have, I think these are so cute. I'll try and find them, but I got these from Urban, just hung up from this magnet that sticks to the fridge, which I thought was pretty clever of me. Hey. But getting into drawers, up here, this is pretty simple stuff. I just have, again, commonly used dishes. So like I was saying, I like these here because anytime I am serving things like off the stove, it's very easy to just like pull a plate out, you put food on it, you hand it to someone, you know what I mean? Over top over here, I basically have all of my towel things. things. On this side, I do have all of my mugs, some more water bottles, some teacups, just like drink stuff. And again, I have this placed over all of our kind of like coffee area stuff. So down here, I do have my Espresso Maker, which is like my favorite thing. So if you've never watched a video where I talk about my espresso machine, things are called the Pixie. So it does make just these like little tiny espressos. It doesn't make the full coffee, but Ira only drinks an iced vanilla latte. Like that's all he literally will drink because he has a brand apparently. But personally, I'm very happy with my Americano in the morning. So I do have for Ira the little add-on Arancino foam from Nespresso, which these were, again, these are things that I purchased moving into my house, moving into my last apartment. It was a very big deal for me. I was very excited to have these things, but especially once Ira and I started living together, I mean, like he was literally buying coffee once to twice a day, every day from coffee shops. Not that you shouldn't support your local coffee shop, but I was like, dude, you're spending like $4 to $8 every day. So now he spends 70 cents. Oh my god. And a little bit more for milk and syrup, which we also have for him because he's a needy man. But one thing, this is probably one of the most favorite things in my kitchen, which was also a gift from Ira this year for our anniversary, is this kettle. Look at this. So this is from Fellow, and it is an electric kettle, so it sits on this thing, but it's so nice because all you do is you push a button, and when you're setting it up, you put it to whatever temperature you want. I don't know what the proper temperature is because I'm not making pour over coffee, so I just set it at 210 and that works for me. But you can change the temperature really easily by moving this, and it will actually hold for you. Once it reaches the temperature, it'll hold it for up to an hour if you set it on hold, and then it will shut off afterwards so you don't have a fire. But if you do forget about your water for 30 minutes, it's still hot when you come and get it. So yeah, I just have hot water and espresso and creamer just about every day, twice a day, which is why I haven't tried that tea yet. But yeah, I just keep all the pods in this little cup thing from Anthropology. If you have not heard my spiel on why I like Nespresso so much, this also probably doesn't need to be opened, is because the pods for them are 100% recyclable, and you can send it in via like literally a shipping bag that they'll give you for free, or you can just bring it into their stores if you want. So again, everything is recyclable, which makes me feel a lot better about things. So for the lower pull-out drawers, I have, starting over here, this is the drawer that, you know, like everyone has, like your junk drawer. I do try to keep ours a little bit more organized than I think most people's. Like, I love having a drawer that you can just like throw crap into, but I still want that to be within its own place, you know what I mean? In these two drawers below here, I do have all of our Tupperwares, which right now our fridge is pretty full of leftovers and stuff, so they're both lacking. But I like keeping Tupperwares and stuff like that in a drawer because I feel like it's much easier way to keep everything organized, and also then you don't end up losing stuff and like you can't find the lid and it's no, you know what I mean? It's just, I live my life, okay? And finally down here we have the party drawer, which is just all of the stuff that I would use for a party. Over here I have all of my baking stuff, so I have put all of the cookie cutters in bags, and obviously if these were reusable that would be better, but this is what I had. So these are organized by kind of like seasons, so I have miscellaneous ones, we have Christmas ones, we have Halloween ones, you know, just a standard girl who likes to bake stuff. Finally, below here, this is where I keep Thor's food and recycling bags, which is very ugly, so I'm gonna shut this. And coming over again to an even worse area, the trash and recycling, which I'm just, don't even look at this, don't even look. Over here, I again have a drawer for baking stuff, so I try to keep everything a little bit more organized because I think tablespoons and stuff like this is very easy to go everywhere. Over here, we have the snack drawer, which is for Ira. This is basically just a million of his granola bars because he eats one of these like every day. And finally, for this half down here is just a bunch of all of my serving stuff. So this is not super well organized. This is the drawer that Ira calls whenever he doesn't know where to put something, he just shoves it in here. On the opposite side down here, this is where I have all of my like sheet pans, some more baking stuff, all of our cutting boards. And over here, I just have all of our silverware, and again, just like utensils that I don't use that often for cooking, but still need like convenience too. Finally, I feel like I've been talking for a whole year. In here, okay, this drawer, This is embarrassing. I really need like proper knives. These are like old knives that my mom actually gave me and then I moved here with, but they work and there's nothing wrong with them. So I just keep using them. I haven't even like tried with this drawer. I literally just slap these knives in here and we don't have any children in the house, so it's okay. I also have all of our kind of like bar stuff that doesn't need to go on there. And now that I have my fridge though, more real estate, if you will, I could put all of these things on there now. This might end up getting moved. And to the left of this are basically all of just like my linens. So I do have another set of oven mitts, New Mexico theme apparently. Got some dish towels, all of my like parchment paper, saran wrap, all these kinds of things, bags, you know what I mean. So yeah, the only other thing that's left is all of the stuff on top of all of my drawers. I know in my soul that there is a way to make these look attractive. Like you could put some fake ivy up there, you could put some baskets up there. You could make this look cute, which one day I might get to, but for right now, I just use it as extra storage. I am almost 6 feet tall, people. There's a whole world up here some of you don't even know about, and I am sorry. But yeah, that's everything for my kitchen tour. I hope that you guys enjoyed. But thank you so much to New Air for my new fridge. All of my friends are very jealous, including my mother. If you are interested in getting one for yourself or anything else from their line, they have an air fryer that honestly I have been eyeing for a while because I've wanted an air fryer and I have space for it right up there. But I will have a link for them down below that you can check out if you are interested in pimping out your kitchen. But yeah, that's everything for today. Go organize a drawer. You all know the one that I'm talking about. Maybe have a cup of tea and have a nice day. Bye. Thank you for watching.